Hello, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here today on Narcissism 101 Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. Good morning. Hope you're doing well wherever you're watching me from, whether you're in Canada, whether you're in Europe, whether you're in the States, whether you're in anywhere else all around the world. That doesn't matter. It's just the fact that you're here. Thank you so much for being here. Before we get into what we're going to talk about this morning, if you want a one-on-one session, you can email me at paul.wisdom_03 at hotmail.com, or you can send me a text message at 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you want advice, if you need some help, I'd be more than happy to give you the help that you need. If you want to call, just send a text to that number, 647-406-3057, and just let me know that it's you, and then we can call and we can talk and we can help you with your situation. So, without further ado, what we are going to be talking about today is your light shines on their darkness and they don't like it. They hate it. Yes, I'm talking about the narcissist. Your light, see, you're a beautiful person. You're an amazing person. You always have been an amazing person. It's always been part of who you are. The only thing is that that's been hidden from you all throughout your life, believe it or not. Your family throughout your life has been jealous of you. Your friends around in your circle were jealous of you. Your teachers were jealous of you because they saw something in people knew that you were a really good person all throughout your life. And I'm sure probably more than likely, you were actually told that you are such a good person. But for some reason, you just didn't see that because people's actions weren't matching their words. People were saying one thing and they were doing another thing. And when they said that you were a good person, they didn't treat you as if you were a good person. When they wanted you at those family get-togethers, let's say, and you went, they treated you like you didn't belong. They treated you badly. They ignored you. They were mocking you. They were mimicking you. They were laughing at you to other people. They were smear campaigning you behind your back because they were jealous and envious of you, right? They were jealous of the fact that you possess something that they do not have. And that is that you're such a good person. You are such a nice person. You're a person that people respect. You're a person that does keep their word, that when they say something that they go through on it. Very few people these days, and I know many, very few people say one thing and do another. Very few, or should I say, let me rephrase that. Very few people keep their word when they give their word. So, the fact that you're a good person, the fact that you're a person that keeps their word, the narcissist hates that. The people in your life, they hate that. They're jealous of you. They're envious of you because they are operating and they're working for Satan. And what does Satan love? Which is what I mentioned on my videos. He loves chaos, confusion, and control. Satan knows, and the narcissist knows, that if they can cause chaos in your life and they can be mean to you, they can disrespect you, they can invalidate you, they can ignore you, you can send a text to them, and back then you didn't even know they were a narcissist. You can send a text to them and they'll claim, oh, I saw it, I read it and I responded, and then you would say, no, I have the message right here, you didn't respond, and then they say, no, I did respond, and then you guys are going back and forth, and then before you know it, now you're the one that's apologizing. And the narcissist knows that you're going to be the one that's going to apologize because the narcissist knows that you're such a good person, and they know that you're a person that doesn't give up. You're a person that's an empath, that has a high level of empathy. And so the narcissist hates the fact that your light is exposing their darkness, because the narcissist is in darkness. The fact that they hate people, the fact that they gaslight people, because you have to keep in mind, I mentioned this in another one of my videos, that narcissists, they all play by the same playbook and they do the exact same things every single day of their lives, and they're doing it to multiple people at the same time. So at that time, when you were dealing with the narcissist, maybe it's your parents, maybe it's your siblings, maybe it's somebody at work, maybe it's your boss, maybe it's your coworkers, maybe it's somebody you just met at a store, maybe it's somebody who you've known all throughout your life. When you were dealing with this person all throughout your life, this person knew that you were a good person, and they knew that you weren't going to stop. They also knew that you were always going to be the one that gave to the relationship. And that person was trying to break that relationship because they are in darkness. The Bible even talks about the fact that when a brother hates another brother, so think Cain and Abel. Cain killed his brother Abel because he was jealous of his brother. The fact that God accepted his sacrifice, Abel's sacrifice, and he neglected Cain's sacrifice because it was a lame sacrifice. Cain was jealous, and then he killed his brother because he was jealous. So anybody who hates, the Bible talks about the fact that anybody who hates their brother or their sister is in darkness, right? And so think about it now. Put it all together. The fact that the narcissist hates the fact that you're such a good person, and the fact that they want to steal from you, that means that they are in darkness. Right? So what I'm saying here on my channel, if it's your first time, thank you so much for being here. What I'm saying here, guys, is that you have to be aware of the fact that people show you who they are. And I was speaking to a woman yesterday, who was looking for some advice from me about, a situation that she was going through with some friends and things like that. And what I was telling her was that people show you who they are by their actions. And many times what we do, unfortunately, and I was guilty of this because, growing up, I just thought that I was just a giver, and that if people didn't want to give to me, then that's just their problem, and I'll just keep being a good person. I'll keep giving to them. But what I didn't realize was that I was giving my time to people who did not deserve it. I was giving my time to people that were just going to take advantage of me, that were just going to weaponize it, and we're going to keep it and weaponize it against me later on in life. And that's what I realized, that there were people in my circle, that includes my family, my friends. There were people who were jealous and envious of me, right? They wanted to be me. Many people wanted to be me, right? But anyways, I was talking to this girl, and I was telling her that people, they reveal themselves in time. And, when people show you who they are the first time, you have to believe what they are showing you, right? You can't make excuses and think, oh, this person will change, or, oh, that's just who they are, or, oh, it's okay. The fact that they're like this, oh, I'll put my guard down, and then I will give them, and I will keep giving to them. But what we don't realize is that when we do that to those people don't take it as you're being a good person. They take it as you're giving them power over you. You're giving your power away so that they can take advantage of you more, so that they can disrespect you more, so that they can gaslight you more, so that they can manipulate you more, so that they can shift the blame onto you and not be accountable for their own behavior more, so that they can smear campaign you behind your back. And then you come to find out that the person that you respected, the person that was supposed to have your back, was lying to you behind your back to other people who you may or may not even know, right? So this is what narcissists do, because they are jealous, because they hate the fact that you shine so bright, that you're such an amazing person. They hate that. They hate people who are good. And that's the devil, right? Satan hates everything that is good, right? When you think back in the Bible, Satan was God created Lucifer. God created him, and God, when he created Satan, he gave him everything, right? He said, you can have all of this. But then Satan, he had a choice to make, right? He made the choice to be ungrateful for those things and to not use the things that God gave him. Right? And he decided to do wrong. And then he decided to, he misled Adam and Eve when they were in the Garden of Eden. And when God told them not to eat the fruit, Adam and Eve, they decided, Satan came up to them and said, no, if you eat this fruit, you will know better than God. You will be better than God. You will be God if you eat this fruit. And then they were deceived, and they said, okay, I'll eat this fruit. And then once they ate this fruit, that caused the fall of humanity. That caused sin. That's where narcissism started, in the Garden of Eden. That's where it started, right? And so that's why we have so much evil in the world. That's why we have so much deception in the world. It's because of Satan, right? And that's how Satan operates. He loves everything that is bad. He likes to make things look good at first, and then once time goes by, those things no longer look, those things will destroy you eventually. Think of drinking, for example, somebody who's addicted to alcohol, right? At first, the alcohol, it tastes good, right? It tastes amazing, right? The alcohol, they swallow it, it goes down their esophagus into their system, and it feels good, it feels amazing, and they just can't get enough now. Every drink, they drink, they drink, they drink. And then before you know it, now these people have health problems. They have maybe liver problems. They have, they don't think straight. Right now, their brain is being altered, right, and now they can't make decisions for themselves, and now they need to depend on the alcohol to numb the pain, to get away from the things that are keeping them down, right? Because they use it as a coping mechanism, right? Narcissists, on the other hand, when they have addictions like alcoholic addictions, narcissists, they use that as their source of supply, right? Now, many people think that when the narcissist is doing these things, they wonder to themselves, how is the narcissist able to manipulate more than one person at one time? How is the narcissist able to go from supply to supply to supply to supply to supply and be doing all these things at once? Well, I'll tell you. The answer is that majority of narcissists, believe it or not, are hiding things, and what they're doing is most of them are addicted to medicine. They take a lot of painkillers, a lot of medicines, a lot of prescription drugs for them to keep on going, because eventually you keep on going, your body is going to give out eventually, right? It's going to die. You're going to fall down. You're going to drop dead, right? The narcissists, however, they need to take these drugs to keep going, because if they don't, they're eventually going to die. And plus, the other thing with the drugs and the things that narcissists take is that it gives them supply. Right? It gives them energy. Remember when I talked about supply in some of my other videos? Go watch my videos if you're new to my channel about what is supply, what is new supply, right? Supply is anything that gives the narcissist energy. That's why narcissists, they need people, right? That's why they need drugs. That's why they need these things, because it gives them energy. Because narcissists can't be alone, right? They can't be abandoned. That's why I make emphasis in most of my videos that when you're dealing with a narcissist, it's much better if you let them discard you and not the other way around. Don't do the reverse discard. And I've mentioned that in many of my videos, and many people are disagreeing with me on that, but that's okay. And the reason why I say that it's better if you let the narcissist discard you, it's because if you discard the narcissist, what you are doing is, one, you are causing a narcissistic injury. And the second thing that you're doing is that you're taking away their control from you. And once you do that, some narcissists, if you're dealing with a malignant narcissist, they can be very, very dangerous, right? They can start smashing things. They'll probably look to kill you. They will physically, and when I say kill you, I mean they'll physically kill you. They'll get their hands on you. They will knock you around. They will kick you. If they're a very sadistic narcissist, they'll get a gun. They'll plot and get somebody to kill you. Like, malignant narcissists are the most dangerous, and so that's why I say, well, it depends on the narcissist you're dealing with, right? But what I say is that let the narcissist discard you, because at least the narcissist will think inside of their mind that they won against you, that they destroyed you, that they did something that you couldn't. But then also, once they discard you, it's much easier for you to get your power back, depending on what narcissist you're dealing with. And this is why I say it's really important to understand what narcissist you're dealing with. So your light shines on the narcissist's darkness, and they don't like it. And they don't like it also because when you shine on their darkness, when you expose them for who they truly are, it means that they no longer have control over you. And narcissists, remember what I said, they need chaos, confusion, and control. They know that when they cause chaos with you, when they manipulate and they gaslight and they cause all this chaos against you, they know that it causes confusion. And narcissists love confusion. The devil, Satan, he's the author of confusion. He's the greatest. He's a pro at confusion. So when the narcissist knows they cause chaos, they know that they've confused you, and they know that they've messed with your mind. And that's why I say you guys need to, we need to start working on our minds, right? Because this is the strongest organ in our bodies, right? Without this part of our bodies, we can't function. We can't do the things that we do because this is the strongest organ in our body. That's why we need to strengthen our minds. We need to do things that we enjoy. We need to get out. We need to exercise. We need to eat properly. We need to get a lot of sleep, right? We need to do all these things so that we can strengthen our minds, right? We need to also, and I mentioned this in some of my videos if you're new to my channel, we need to also get in tune with the word of God, right? We need to open the Bible, just open it, just start reading it, just so that God can start talking to you, right? Because when you read the Bible, believe it or not, God is it's a spiritual exchange between you and God is actually talking to you through the Bible. And so when you do that, then God can start working on your mind. He can start removing the things that aren't supposed to be there. And then once he does that, that makes room for the things that are supposed to be there. And then God can do the work on you so that the devil can't get to you get to you as good as he thinks he can, right? Because that's what the devil hates. He hates being exposed. And when the devil's exposed, he runs away, right? When I was married to my ex-wife, there came a point where, I was starting to catch on to her behavior. Many people ask me, how did you find out that she was a narcissist and all that? Well, it's an interesting story, and I think I mentioned it in some of my other videos that what had happened was that throughout the relationship, the first thing I started noticing was the lack of accountability. And I made a video on accountability. You should go watch it. It's called Accountability. The first thing I noticed, was accountability. At the smallest things, I would try to, have a conversation with her, and then she would claim that I was the problem, and she would flip it back on me. And that was number one. The second thing is that these articles just kept popping up on my phone about gaslighting, about manipulation, about, what is a narcissist? Like, they just kept popping up everywhere. And I started reading them. And then I started putting two and two together. And then on YouTube, because I watched a fair amount of YouTube, and also I create videos as well. But anyways, I was on YouTube. And then, these videos about what is a psychopath, what is the difference between a narcissist and a psychopath, or what is a sociopath. And then people I started reading the comments, and then I started seeing, people telling their stories. And then I started thinking to myself, this sounds similar to what I'm going through. And then I started to put two and two together. And then I was like, oh my gosh, so are you telling me my wife is a narcissist? And then I started confronting her, and I asked her a question. I was like, are you gaslighting me? Are you trying to, make me doubt my sense of reality? And then this was the turning point for me, where, she started avoiding me, started spending less time with me. She started, not telling me stuff, and started doing things on purpose, like saying, oh, I didn't want to tell you that because I was afraid you would get upset. And, the tide just started changing, and I was just like, what's going on here? So that's how, and then after a while, what had happened was that, once I figured out that, my wife is a narcissist, I told her, if you decide not to get help for whatever challenges that you have, because she also found out she was diagnosed with, depression, anxiety, and autism disorder, and whatever else, I said to her, if you decide not to go to, rehab or therapy or counseling, or go get more help, then I don't think that this, marriage is there's no point of us being married anymore, because you don't want to get help. And so, she took that as me attacking her, and then she sort of stormed away from me. And then I said, you may be, narcissist, you may have narcissistic personality disorder. And this is where she started to freak out. And then after she freaked out at me and almost got in my face, then she ghosted me for like 7 days, right? Because she ghosted me, she ran away, because because of the fact that I'm such a good person, and I wanted what was best for her, my light shined on her darkness, and she didn't like that. So she couldn't be around the fact that I exposed, the fact that she wasn't the person who she was. And that's why I was ghosted for 7 days, and then she just left. She just up and left me, right? So what I'm saying here, guys, is that your light, it shines on their darkness. And the narcissist doesn't like that. They don't like the fact that you are such a good person. So they need to do everything possible to take away your good traits, so that your good traits can be replaced with their bad traits, right? So it's almost like body swapping. Body swapping. They want you to have their negative traits, and then they want to have your positive traits. But they can't do that because that's not who they are. That's not who you are, right? And so, what I say to you empaths, you guys watching my video, is keep being a good person. Keep being the person that you are. Don't let anybody tell you that there's something wrong with you. Don't let anybody tell you that, you had problems or you had issues or you had this or that. You don't. That's all a lie. That's all deception. They want to deceive you to throw you off so that you become an extension of them. And that's what narcissists want. They want extensions. They want people to be extensions of them. That's why I notice that when your relationship ends, that's why they hoover you. And for all you guys who are new to my channel, I always say never, never, never accept a hoover. Do not accept. What is a hoover for those who are new to my channel? A hoover is when the narcissist is trying to see if you healed. They want to see if you're going to if you want to get back into a relationship with them. And they also want to see if you figured out that they're actually a narcissist. It's not a good thing, because I can tell you right now, anytime the narcissist hoovers and people accept hoovers, the narcissist is worse the second time around. They're much worse and they're much more vicious, right? But they do it in different cycles. So when you were with them in the relationship throughout the love bomb, devaluation, and discard, it was a cycle, right? It was a slow, insidious cycle that crept up on you, right? But the second time, if you were to go in with them a second time, I can tell you right now, it's going to go from love bomb to devaluation like that, like from day 1 to day 2. And then before you know it, they discard you and then they cheat on you again, right? They do the same cycle, but except it's just a faster, because the reason why it's faster is because the narcissist is always thinking about how they can better manipulate others. What didn't work last time is going to work this time. That's what they think in their minds, because they think that they're clever. They think that they're smarter than you. They think that they're more slicker than you, right? Now, just keep it, but keep in mind, keep on being the good person that you are. You know what I mean? Just do you, enjoy your life, be happy, right? Anytime someone tries to throw you off, just know that that's the devil working in them. That's the devil trying to, trying to get to you. And you shouldn't let the devil get to you. Don't let the devil steal your joy. Don't let the devil steal your beautiful, bright, shining light that you are as a person. Be who you are. Be yourself. I guess that's the theme for this video. Be yourself. Don't try to be something that you are not. Be yourself. And then the right people that are supposed to be in your life will be there for you and will stay there for you and will give to you. The people who are not supposed to be in your life will remove themselves naturally. They will rid themselves because they see that you're too much for them. Your light is too much for their darkness to handle. And so keep being yourself. So I hope that this video helped you out. If it did, like, subscribe, comment, share it with somebody who you think could use the knowledge, could use the wisdom. And like I said, if you want a one-on-one session, you can email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com. If you want to call, if you want to text, text the number 647-406-3057. If you want to call, just send a text and let me know that you want to talk about your experience, you need some help, and then I'll be more than happy to give you the help that you need, and I'll be more than happy to, to give you the advice so that you can move forward. All right. So thank you so much again for being here, guys, and hope you have an amazing day. And I hope to see you on the next video.